would you say would be the best part of the Atlanta music community and the worst part of the Atlanta music community?
The best part of the Atlanta music community is just the simple fact that it's very rich. You know, there's so many things you can do in Atlanta that you can't do anywhere else. Let's face it. That's why there's so many people in Atlanta that are from so many different places. Like this, for music, this is like one of those places. This is like a hub. You gotta kind of come here, or at least come through here, before your stuff really pops. Whereas, I mean, it might not have been that way, we would say maybe 20 years ago, but like, especially in this day and age, this is the spot. The only, the downside to that is about, you know, just with everything here being so popping, there's so many, you know, copycats and clones and imitators. So, and even for me as a DJ, I look for stuff that's different. So with the negative part of that, I would say it's easy to get caught up in the flow of everything and not be as innovative and creative as you could be, because you're caught up in what's hot right now. When a lot of us, you know, like there are people out here who have a southern sound, or, you know, even if it's not, you know, a southern Atlanta sound, but there's a sound that becomes hot and then everybody tries to duplicate it. So one thing in Atlanta, sometimes you'll run into that, but I mean, like I said, the best part about it is there's so many opportunities and there's so much going on. But with the so much that's going on, you don't want to oversaturate with the same thing.
We're talking about the Atlanta music community. So, you know, we're from the school of, you know, grind 101. I get a lot of producers and artists who call me from outside the country, inside the country, saying, yo, I'm about to move to Atlanta. I'm about to get on my grind. So if somebody was coming to Atlanta to make it in music, what tips would you give them for when they first get here? What should they do? What should they not do? What should they consider?
That's a good question. That's another one of those how much time you got questions. But I mean, the biggest thing about Atlanta is, like I said, there's a lot going on. So when you get here, first of all, I mean, you should have a sense of purpose before you even get here. Like, okay, what is the goal? And I think even outside of music, that's one of the biggest issues people have, is goal setting. I mean, even myself, I have to sit down and say, hey, what's your goal? So based on that goal, I mean, there's a person or people in each of those fields that can help you out. So if you say, hey, you know, I want to get a placement with, let's just say, Usher, you know, you need to find out who is Usher's people. How can I get in touch with the A&R? You know, who do I talk to? I think that would be one of the biggest things you need to do before you come to Atlanta. And on top of that, it's not just about who you talk to either. You also need to make sure you're perfecting your craft. So one of the things you said, grind. You gotta work. There's no replacement for hard work, in my opinion. You know, like, you can know all these people, but if you're not putting in the work to make sure that your stuff is top of the line, that it's not gonna last. It might get you, you know, you might get some placements and stuff like that, but if you're not keeping your stuff fresh, then it's not going to get you anywhere. One of the things I would definitely avoid is clicking up. And when I say clicking up, I think a lot of times people get caught up in their own circles and they are afraid to go outside of those circles and see what else is out there. I think definitely if you get in cool with this person or this group of people, that's good. And I mean, of course, be careful if certain people don't get along with each other, but you should keep your options as open as possible and know that there's so much, you know, out there for you to take advantage of. I mean, from performing rights organizations to, I mean, beat battles to, you know, there's a lot going on. So even if you don't go to every single thing, or if you're not cool with every single person, awareness is everything, in my opinion. So that would be my advice.